Here's the thing. I'm not trying to keep anyone happy. I'm an 18-year-old girl out here living my best life. Like, I'm having a great time. You know, it doesn't really matter if other people are happy or not, because I feel as though I am doing my best. I'm enjoying the entire process, and I'm using my voice to create as much positive change as I can for the voices who will listen to me in an area that is personal and relevant to myself. So I know that I have a good heart, and I know that my reasons for making the decisions I do are based on a greater common interest and something that I feel like is for the greater good. And so if other people don't really believe that that's where I'm coming from, then that just reflects that they do not have the empathy to empathize with a good heart, perhaps because they don't share the same kind of morals that I do. And in that sense, I'm not going to waste my time trying to placate people who are, one, uneducated, and two, probably are never going to experience the kind of joy and gratitude and just love that I have the great fortune to experience on a daily basis. So yeah, if people don't believe me and if people don't like me, then that's their loss. They're never going to win the Olympics. So.
Eileen Gu's first ever 1620 and won the gold.
Here we go. The final kiss to the
What feelings do you have right now?
What feelings? Ooh, I am hungry. I think I'm gonna go get some food.
If I was to ask the same question, you answer in Chinese.
我现在特别饿，有点困啊，我准备回家好好吃一顿，睡一觉。
Gu, I think, has had to sacrifice her American passport, so welcome to China. I hope stardom and the riches that you have earned through betraying America are all worth it, because you have definitely sold out.
This Tucker Carlson interview is infuriating.
It is incredibly, I think the only word we can arrive at is ungrateful for her to turn her back on the country that not just raised her, but turned her into a world-class skier.
First of all, to my knowledge, there's no actual confirmation about what Eileen Gu's current citizenship is. She did grow up in the US, she spent a lot of time in China, her mother is Chinese, but none of that should matter.
This girl's 18, you know, you make dumb decisions, you get stupid tattoos, you renounce your citizenship to go to China, whatever. You know, young people do dumb things.
It's ungrateful, like a child that says, I'm out of here, I'm moving somewhere else, after being raised in a warm home. That's what she is, and she will soon, I suspect, Tucker, come to regret it.
She's an 18-year-old Olympic athlete. Why are these old white dudes so triggered by what an 18-year-old girl is doing?
Recently, Eileen Gu has taken all headlines on social media, especially about her citizenship. Because her mom is Chinese and her dad is American, she is a mix. She won the gold medal for China and has been criticized by American media. She replied as,
I feel like sport is really a way that we can unite people. It doesn't have to be related to nationality. It's not something that can be used to divide people. We're all out here together, pushing the human limit.
Just like she said, what she does is challenge herself, not politics. And because the Beijing Winter Olympics, everyone is falling in love with the winter sports in China, and everyone go on the snow to try the skiing and the snowboard. Sports in Chinese is 体育. 体育 United is 团结体育让人团结 Sports united people together.
About if you still add your American citizenship.
Are you still a U.S. citizen, or how's that work?
I've been very outspoken about my gratitude to both the U.S. and China for making me the person who I am. I don't feel as though I'm, taking advantage of one or the other, because both have actually been incredibly supportive of me and continue to be supportive of me, because they understand that my mission is to use sport as a force for unity, to use it as a form to foster interconnection between countries, and not use it as a divisive force. So that benefits everyone, and if you disagree with that, then I feel like that's someone else's problem.
lands a double cork 162 on her final run to win the gold medal.
He told me throw it back about, so I sit this motherfucker on his lap about.
Dolce, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? Okay? Hi, my name's Dolce with 2 eyes. I feel anxious when I'm high.
Snow Princess, supermodel, and now Olympic gold medalist. 3 things that describe China's Eileen Gu. But there's more to this story, so let's dive into it. Eileen was born in the US to a Chinese mother and an American father. In these 2022 Winter Games, Gu decided to compete for China. This led to lots of criticism in the United States, as the US has decided to diplomatically boycott the Beijing Games. Canada has also adopted the same approach with a diplomatic boycott. This boycott stems from the many human rights abuses happening in China, like the ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity of different ethnic groups. Eileen competed in the women's big air competition. She won gold on her final run, landing a rare 1620. She got the name Snow Princess not just because she's an amazing skier, but she's a model as well. She's one of the faces of Louis Vuitton and many other luxury brands, including Victoria's Secret. The US has called her a traitor, but her goal is unity and promoting this sport for young women. Eileen has 2 more events upcoming in the Olympics, so let's see if she can strike gold for 3 times in a row.
I'm really happy to hear that she was here today. It's a big honor when athletes of different sports, especially of more widely known sports like tennis, come and pay attention to smaller niche sports like free skiing. I think it gives us an amazing platform to hopefully spread our small sport to the rest of the world and have everybody else have an opportunity to experience the sport as well.
接下来，中国选手谷爱凌将登场。这是谷爱凌第一次在冬奥会亮相，她出发了。年轻的谷爱凌吸引着全世界关注的目光。非常稳健。
common interest and something that I feel like is for the greater good. And so if other people don't really believe that that's where I'm coming from, then that just reflects that they do not have the empathy to empathize with a good heart, perhaps because they don't share the same kind of morals that I do. And in that sense, I'm not going to waste my time trying to placate people who are, 1, uneducated, and 2, probably are never going to experience the kind of joy and gratitude and just love that I have the great fortune to experience on a daily basis. So yeah, if people don't believe me and if people don't like me, then that's their loss. They're never going to win the Olympics.
Reaction from the 18-year-old. Left side. Take a look at this. The aerial view. You see the sheer size and scale of this jump. I have never seen her attempt this trick before. Reaches back, gets the tail grab, very equivalent to what we saw at a test in run number 1, which scored a 94.50. So, if this landing looks good in the replay, I would be surprised to see her not get a...
Eileen Gu is 18 years old. She's a skier. She was born in San Francisco. She's a favorite to win several gold medals in the Winter Olympics in China this year. But she's not going to be competing for the country of her birth or her citizenship. Instead, she's going to be on China's Olympic team. She has one parent who was born in China, and she switched sides despite the fact she's American. What does this tell us about the moment we're living in and about our future? Will Kane is the co-host of Fox & Friends Weekend. He's also the host of the Will Kane podcast, which is excellent. He joins us now. Will, thanks for coming on. This seemed like a significant story. Do you think that it is?
I think it is. I think it's a significant story if we consider that it's about something much bigger than Eileen Gu.
Right.
First,
exactly.
with Eileen Gu, I mean, it is incredibly, I think the only word we can arrive at is ungrateful for her to turn her back on the country that not just raised her, but turned her into a world-class skier with the training and facilities that only the United States of America can provide. For her to then turn her back on that in exchange for money is shameful. It's ungrateful, like a child that says, I'm out of here, I'm moving somewhere else after being raised in a warm home. That's what she is, and she will soon, I suspect, Tucker, come to regret it. I mean, take a look at the Chinese tennis player who dared to speak out about sexual harassment and then mysteriously disappeared. Eileen Gu, I think, has had to sacrifice her American passport, so welcome to China. I hope stardom and the riches that you have earned through betraying America are all worth it, because you have definitely sold out.
Well, that's exactly it. And look, this girl's 18. You make dumb decisions, you get stupid tattoos, you renounce your citizenship to go to China, whatever. Young people do dumb things. But there should be collective revulsion as we watch this. Like, we shouldn't make it easy for people to betray their own country, should we?
We shouldn't, but unfortunately, and this gets to the point which you and I both alluded to a moment ago, this is about something much bigger than Eileen Gu. Look, she's sponsored by Victoria's Secret, Louis Vuitton, the Chinese companies like Ultra, which uses Chinese forced labor to bring in cotton to make the shoes and athletic apparel that these athletes make money off of. And these corporate CEOs, somewhat tied to the point you were making a little bit earlier about the inherent weakness in American corporations, and I would add to that, the inherent immorality of capitalism devoid from a moral principled grounding is what we're looking at here. Because there's not an American company, honestly, Tucker, there's very few American companies that wouldn't and haven't already done the same thing as Eileen Gu. They've already turned their back on the United States of America in exchange for Chinese riches. And that's why she's a symbol. You want to look at something to be really upset about. It's not the ungrateful child of America. It's the corrupt and weak corporations of America.
No, it's totally right. I honestly think the shareholder system, the public company model that we have, can't continue. It doesn't actually...
I swear in the face, this fucking world better prepare to get laced, because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline in 'em, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up in 'em, ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em. 发呆，看我造型谁哇塞，嘿 bro， 快过来，把保险柜给打开，撒钱。撒的都是美元，不闪的我都不看眼，除非不能少于5万。我只信 you and you， 想和你挑。
Today we'll be talking about the sensational Eileen Gu. Eileen was born in September 17, 2003 to an American father and a Chinese mother. And she started recreational skiing at just the age of 3. Gu's ability continues to grow, and by the age of 9, she became champion at the USA Snowboard and Free Ski Junior Association. And by the age of 15, she competed at the senior level and became national champion. Here's where the controversy begins. In 2019, Eileen actually switched sides and started representing China instead. She took to social media to thank the American side of her identity. Eileen also stated that she wanted to represent a sport that is lesser known for skiing accolades. And of course, the Western media did not take too lightly of the switch. There were constant harassment of her online, not just in mainstream media, but people actually giving her death threats on social media. And the newly minted Olympic champion is also a model student, getting a nearly perfect score in her SATs, and committing to Stanford University of the class of 2026. And did we also mention that she's Victoria's Secret and Vogue model? Eileen is absolutely amazing. What can't she do? What do you guys think of the controversy of her switching sides? I personally feel that everyone has a choice to decide which country they want to represent. Leave me a comment below and let me know.